Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are here in a creepy location. 'Cause fog, you know? Now, some of you may be able to tell where the hell we're at just by looking at this. Others... Okay, basically anybody who has played Fallout 4 knows where the heck we are. But... then again, those of us who play Fallout 4 sometimes can't remember the name of the place or whatever. So, I will actually share with you. I want to say this is Fairline Hill Estates. But like sometimes I get that mixed. Oh, I think I get that mixed up with West Everett Estates. So, let us just check. Fairline Hill Estates. Yes. Okay. So, we're here at Fairline Hill Estates, and I'm honestly going to change the weather now. It is creepy, which fits the whole lore of this town in the first place. What happened to the people? Okay, so let's just change the weather so I can get better skies. Oops. There we go. Hopefully my hand wasn't in there much. So, why are we here? Well, I found something that I found intriguing. Oh, also, I found a strange architecture of the Fallout universe. So, a little bonus. This here. Yeah. It just kind of goes up to the stair. Weird. So, you messed me up last time, so you stay here. You...
Hey, what is it?
Okay, I'm gonna trust you to not screw this up. Because you were sitting down here last time. But Puppers, you knocked the thing all to hell. So, you just stay down there. And I have looted this place, but I discovered this. So I left this stuff here, but everything else is, looted. But often, whenever I go to places, especially in vanilla, that have these little blocks, I read the blocks to see what they might say. Oftentimes it says Gary, or hello, or, something like that. But other times they seem to say other things. And this town's a mystery. And so I went and I looked at these. Now, let me actually turn off my stuff, my HUD, and I looked at these letters, and honestly, I kind of went with P-A-U-X. Now, I was looking at all the others. We got N-F-B-I. I really can't see what that would be. Biffin? Maybe Fibbin? Ooh, considering what else I discovered, Fibbin might actually work as well. Looking over here, it's all consonants. C, Z, L, G. And over here, don't fuck with these blocks. Over here, it's Y, C, D, V. It doesn't really work out to much of anything. However, PAUX, that was intriguing, because PAUX, well, there's two definitions that I found, not for PAUX, but for this combination of letters. PAUX, one definition that I have found for this on the internet is a word that translates from French to English, meaning pal or friend. And which I thought was kind of neat. And then the other way I looked at it was, well, maybe it's AUXP, which is also kind of a weird way of laying it out, but auxiliary P is auxiliary program. But also auxiliary is a type of connection used in technology to transmit audio signals. So auxiliary refers to a specific type of connector used for transmitting analog audio signals between different electronic devices. And yeah, I wrote that down. That was a lot of stuff for me to try to remember. But, for people trying to figure out, what happened, of course, some are probably like, well, they probably figured the Institute had something to do with it, but there's like no proof. You go around here and there's stuff in safes, there's weapons out in the open, weapons and ammo out in the open, weapons and ammo in unlocked safes, but the people are gone. There's clothing all around, but people are gone. Why? What happened? Why did they leave so quickly? Kind of like the Marie Celeste. And so I saw this, and yeah, I worked out paw. Forgive me for pronouncing it probably poorly, but PAUX, paw. One definition is for friend, pal. And then, of course, basically a connector used for transmitting signals. And then if you go over, then you go over here and you still look at these color, letters in color, FIBN, fibbin, well, another, that's usually a child term for telling a lie. So they had a friend who was telling a lie because they weren't a friend, and they were transmitting stuff probably to the Institute, maybe to Raiders, probably to the Institute. Maybe to Raiders. And basically, this was the quickest means that somebody used to kind of say what was happening. Not a very good one, because it's like, okay, so a lying friend who is transmitting information to somebody. But this AUXP, auxiliary program, that also works with telecommunications as well as technology. Not just telecommunications, but also technology. And the Institute is definitely one who is into technology, a lot more than Raiders. So perhaps whoever was in this house discovered that somebody was a synth transmitting information to the Institute, but somebody that they considered to be a friend, who was fibbing, who was lying, and they weren't a friend. So I'm going to go out into the sunlight. But that is what I am kind of coming up with. Let's just rotate the camera. So that's what I'm coming up with. Again, it's not concrete evidence, and it's that's a tough one to translate, to break down the code and such. But honestly, well, okay, granted, I'm saying it myself, but that seems to me to be one of the better secrets explaining what happened to this town. I mean, sure, many people probably assume that the Institute did something because the Institute is the boogeyman of the Commonwealth, and they probably did, but that those 4 blocks might actually explain that, yes, someone who was pretending to be a friend betrayed them to the Institute. And that was the quickest way that they could get that information out to anybody else who happened to come into town. Now, that doesn't explain the guy who put all the feral ghouls in his house. I don't know about that one. I mean, yeah, that one's just weird. He locks them up in the house, keeps it so that nobody can get in through the front door, or for them to get out the front door, but you can get in through a second floor on a log. Not very safe. But they're behind a locked door. Yeah, but if they... I don't know. That one's just confusing. But this one was basically what I was mainly looking at as what happened to this town and why would we think someone might be involved. So, thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. I put a lot of time into trying to figure out what PAUX and any variation of those letters and the other letters could work out to mean. So this was actually my longest researched video. So yes, thank you all for joining me. Be excellent to each other and to yourself, working on that, and party on. Cheers.